wonder how you remember things best? When you think of when you were a child or a long time ago or somebody that you want to remember, what is it that comes to mind? Is it what they looked like? Is it a sight? Is it a sound? Is it the sound of their voice? Is it how they smelt? For a lot of people, smell is really evocative. I don't know if you smell cinnamon and instantly it's Christmas time, or if you smell the smell of freshly cut grass and you remember summers taking exams or going on holiday. Sometimes they're pleasant and sometimes they're less pleasant memories, aren't they? But I don't know if smell is a powerful thing for you, but it's a powerful thing for a lot of people. What they smell stays with them. Smells make you remember. Smells are what link you with the past. Nasty smells and nice smells. In the Bible, we often use the idea of smell, the language of smell. Sometimes people talk about the smells that please God, the smell of incense. And if you come to benediction tonight, you'll be able to smell that. And that's a picture of things that people do that God likes. Incense smells nice to God. God likes the smell of incense because it's the smell that means people are worshipping. When we're baptized and confirmed, we sometimes use sweet-smelling oil that smells lovely. And that's a picture of God in our baptism and our confirmation, making us smell lovely to him. It's a picture of us promising that we will try to do what smells good to God, that we'll try to worship, that we'll try to care about each other. Those are the smells that please God. And in the gospel story we've just heard, the very, very long gospel story that we've just heard, thank you, Jackie, there was a smell. In fact, there were a couple of smells, but one smell in particular, a smell of perfume. Any of you like perfume? Any perfume fans over here? Would you like to come and smell some perfumes? Oh, come on. It's not far. It's about 2 steps for you. What does that smell like?
It smells like... I'm not sure.
It's quite sweet, isn't it? Do you want to take that around and see if you can find somebody else brave enough to smell it? Okay, any other brave volunteers? Jackie will smell some perfume.
Quite nice, but I'm not sure what it is.
No, it's a bit musky, that one. Do you want to go and find somebody else who can smell that one? Okay. Any other volunteers? Come here, David. Wrist?
Yep, let's try that one. That smells quite nice, actually.
Do you want to find somebody else who can? Tabitha? Bella. Excellent. Do you want to smell it or do you want it on your wrist? Smell it. Do you like it? Do you want to see if anybody else likes it? You could offer it on their wrist if you wanted. Oh, thank you. So we've got lots of smells, haven't we? Lots of smells that some of us like and some of us don't. There was a smell of perfume in our story. And there were also 3 people in our story. There was Simon, there was Jesus, and there's a woman whose name we don't know. Simon the Pharisee was a bit like this fancy bottle of perfume. He was always well dressed. He had a beautiful house. He had lots of servants. He was very rich. And he thought that he did exactly what God wanted. When he invited people round to his house, he expected them to be very, very impressed. So there's Simon. But this bottle jar is a bit like the woman. She wasn't much to look at. Nobody much noticed her. If people noticed her, they usually turned their noses up at her. But she had heard that Jesus had gone to Simon's house, and she screwed up her courage, and in she went. I think if you asked anybody in that village where both Simon the Pharisee and this woman lived, if you asked anybody in that village which of these 2 people lived in the way that God wanted, which of these 2 people made a smell that pleased God, they would say it was Simon. But that's not quite what Jesus says. Simon the Pharisee invited Jesus to his house, but he thought he was doing Jesus a big favour by inviting him in. So he didn't think he needed to welcome him properly. He didn't need to offer him water to wash his hands and his feet. It was hot and dusty where Simon and Jesus lived. So whenever you went inside, you would wash your feet because they were all dusty and sticky and smelly. But Simon didn't think he needed to make Jesus' feet smell nice. Simon let Jesus' feet go on being hot and smelly. Simon the Pharisee thought that Jesus should be grateful to him for letting him inside his big, beautiful house. But Simon didn't offer Jesus anything. Simon kept everything that he had inside. He didn't open himself up. He didn't let what he had pour out over Jesus. But when the woman comes into Simon's house, things are different. The men don't notice her. She creeps up behind Jesus and she pours out perfume. She makes Jesus' feet smell nice, but what she does smells good to God. God likes the smell of people worshipping. I was trying to make that smell of orange and lemon and cloves, but I don't think you can smell it. Do you want to smell? See if that smells of anything to you. Can you smell the orange and the lemon and the cloves? A bit. Well, that's good enough for me. God likes the smell of people worshipping. God likes the sight of people doing good things for each other and for God. God likes it when people don't keep themselves bottled up inside. God likes it when people pour themselves out for Jesus and for each other. We don't know the woman's name, but we know that she poured out the sweet-smelling ointment. She opened herself up to Jesus. She took herself and gave what she had to Jesus, and the smell of her perfume filled the whole house. I wonder how Simon the Pharisee felt when that happened. I wonder how the woman felt. I wonder if we are opening ourselves up to Jesus and offering Jesus what we have. I wonder if what we do smells good to God.